Let's begin. First set of questions, 30 seconds each. First one. Find the value of n such that n permutation 3 is equal to 210. Yes, St. John's.
N equals 7.
You are right. Next one. A particle is moving with a constant velocity u equals 4I plus 3j in meters per second and passes through the point negative 5I, negative 4j meters at time t equals 0 seconds. Find the position vector at time t equals 3 seconds. Yes, Selassie.
So we have the position vector 7I plus 5j, all in meters.
You are right. Next one. Find the greatest value and the least value of eight over the expression 2 sine of x plus 4. Yes, Selassie.
You have the
Ampofo.
The greatest value is 4, and the least value is 4 on 3.
You are right. Next set, 10 seconds each. First one. A student was bitten by an animal later determined to be an arthropod during athletics training on the school field. This arthropod had 2 fang-like mouthparts, no antennae, a large abdomen, and a telson. Yes, you are right. Yes, I was going to ask you for the common name. And yes, it is a scorpion. All right, next one. When placed in closed paper bags, fruits often ripen faster. Why? Yes, Abdul Wahab.
Okay, so this is due to the presence of the hormone ethylene. And this ethylene, when the fruits are placed in the closed rubber bag, the ethylene is produced much, and the ethylene is enclosed in the closed rubber bag. So this ethylene is able to stimulate the ripening of these fruits. So
yes. Yes, ethylene. What are you calling it? Ethylene. Anyway. All right. On we go. How do monarch butterfly caterpillars benefit from feeding exclusively on toxic milkweed plants? Toxic milkweed is Asclepias species. Yes, Selassie.
This helps them by so it's used in defense. It's used to produce chemicals in the osmitium, which they use for defense against other organisms.
I'm not accepting it. Yes, but it's a lot simpler than that. Yes, of course, it's defense, but how is it doing that? So what happens is that the toxin from the milkweed makes them unpalatable to many predators. So the predators know if I go and attack this monarch butterfly, it's not going to taste good, so they stay away, right? So that's how they do the defense, but telling me defense is too vague. Okay, so the toxins make them unpalatable to their predators. All right, next set, 30 seconds. Find Find the speed of light of wavelength 4.8 times 10 raised to the power negative 9 meter in a medium whose absolute refractive index at that wavelength is 1.4. Okay, go ahead. Yes, Selassie.
So we have the speed to be 2.1.
It's gone. So I continue. 1.47. Yes, Accra Academy.
The speed is 2.04 by 10 raised to the power 8 meters per second.
You are right. Next one. If the spring constant of an unstretched spring is 64 Newton per meter, what force magnitude is required to extend the spring so that its potential energy is 32 joules? Yes, Rabiu.
We have 1.0 meters.
That's incorrect. Who rang next? Accra Academy. Go ahead. Ampofo.
You have 1 meter.
That's incorrect. Did you ring St. John's? Okay. The right answer is 64 newtons. All right. Calculate the magnitude of the resultant of concurrent forces of magnitudes 60 Newton, 63 Newton, and 72 Newton that act in mutually perpendicular directions. Hmm. 97 newtons. Last set, 30 seconds each. In the manufacturing process, a gas cylinder is used to store 83 decimeter cubed of an ideal gas. The cylinder is maintained at 37 degrees Celsius and 140 kilopascal. How many moles of the gas? Yes, Selassie.
So, yeah, 6.7.
That's incorrect. I'm continuing. How many moles of the gas are present in the cylinder under these conditions? Rabiu?
So 4.5 moles.
Yes. All right, next one. A sample of Alewa toffee contains 22.5 grams of sucrose, C12H22O11. Calculate the energy content of this toffee, given that the heat of combustion of sucrose is negative 5,640 kilojoule per mole. Yes, Abdul Wahab. Carry on.
The energy is negative 9.00 by 10 raised to the power 2.
No. Did anyone else ring? Okay. Okay. 705 kilojoules. 705 kilojoules. So you see, if you're a good science student, even your lewa toffee will be eaten with care. All right. Last one for the round. Sulfur hexafluoride is a greenhouse gas with the highest known global warming potential. Determine the molecular geometry. Okay, Ampofo.
It is octahedral. And the hybridization is sp3d2.
That's incorrect, so I continue for the others. Determine the molecular geometry and one bond angle. Yes, Rabiu.
So the shape is octahedral and one bond angle is 90 degrees.
Yes. Okay, the other angle is 180 degrees. And that brings us to the end of the Prudential Life Speed Race.
Hello, Alpha. Yeah, the landlady is here today too. She's harassing me this morning. Yes, come and see how I'm sweating.
Well, if I catch you,
Yes, the number I sent you the last time. Yes, use the Jupe app. It will come right now.
Hey, bra. Ah, so I'm sick of mommy. Give me my money. Me, Jim Sika.
We didn't know. What your Jupe is here? Yes, Canada. Sure, Jupe is the best money transfer app that is used to send money directly from the US to Ghana free of charge. They have the best rates in the market and they are very competitive. And no thing is Kano Kana Abrosono.
Jim Sika.
Ow. Let me see. She's never had a toothache before.
Round 3. This round has the problem of the day. The problem of the day is a single question to all 3 schools. From the time I ask you to begin, you will have 4 minutes to present your answers on the screens behind you. The problem of the day is worth 10 points. Contestants, please rise. Okay, everybody has dropped their pen, right? Okay, you may now pick up the sheet so that we read. We are only reading at this stage. Let's read the problem of the day together. Problem of the day. The first three terms of a series are x minus 4, x plus 4, and 3x plus 4. 1. If the series is a linear series, A, find the value of x. B, write down the first 4 terms of the series. 2. If the series is an exponential series, A, find possible values of x. B, find possible values of the common ratio. And C, find the sum of the series to infinity where it exists. Contestants, this is your problem of the day. You may now begin. button and resume your seats. The contestants have presented their answers. Before I award the marks, let's look at the suggested solution from our consultants. This is a problem from mathematics, and we have a series. 3 of the terms are given, and they are the first 3 terms. So we have x minus 4, x plus 4, and 3x plus 4. There are 2 parts to this question. The first part, we are going to consider that this series is a linear series. So let's take them systematically and see how to approach this. So if we take that the series is a linear series, we are to find the value of x, and then we are to write down the first 4 terms of the series. Okay, so this is where it comes in handy to understand series, right? So we know that twice the middle term of the series is equal to the sum of the first and the third terms. If you know this, you will set up an equation. Okay, so twice the middle term is 2 times x plus 4, and this should be equal to the sum of the first and the third terms. So x minus 4 plus 3x plus 4. We can easily solve this, right? So we have 2x. If you work on this, you get 2x is equal to 8, and so x has to be 4. If you get this far, you get 2 points. All right. If you know what x is, then it's not very difficult to get the rest of it, right? So now you substitute this 4 into the series, you get the first 3, and then if you understand the series, you can now go ahead and get the 4th term as well. And if you do that, you will find that the terms are 0, 8, 16, and 24. If you get these 4, you will get 2 points. All right. Now, for the second part, we are to consider that the series is an exponential series. First is to find the possible values of x if this is an exponential series. Let's look at that one first. Okay, so again, it's very helpful to know at this stage that the middle term squared is equal to the product of the first and the third terms. Right? These are things about series. So if we take the middle term, x plus 4, and we square it, it should be equal to x minus 4, that expression, multiplying the expression 3x plus 4. Again, we can expand this. If we expand, we get 2x squared minus 16x minus 32 is equal to 0. And then you simplify further, you get x squared minus 8x minus 16 is equal to 0. Okay. At this stage, this is where you remember all the math that you've been learning, right? So if you remember the quadratic formula, this is the stage to use it. It's not enough to just memorize it, right? This is where you actually need to apply it to get somewhere. So using the quadratic formula, you know, negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus, you remember that thing, right? So you use that, you will find that x is equal to 8 plus or minus square root of 128 all over 2. And this is 4 plus or minus 4 root 2. If you get this far, you will have 2 marks. All right. Then you have to find possible values of the common ratio. Okay, so now you see that there are 2 possible values of the common ratio. Since we have 4 plus or minus 4 root 2 for x, there are 2 possible values. So for the first one, let's look at for x equals 4 plus 4 root 2, r is going to be, take one term, divide by the other term, and you get the ratio, right? So you have 8 plus 4 root 2 divided by 4 root 2, and that will give you 1 plus root 2. If you get this value of r, you get 1 more point. Now let's look at the other one. So for x equals 4 minus 4 root 2, r, again, we are going to substitute and divide to get the common ratio. So 8 minus 4 root 2 divided by negative 4 root 2, and this will give you 1 minus root 2. 1 more mark. And then finally, find the sum of the series to infinity where it exists. This is where you need to check, right? You need to check either the 2 of them and see where it will exist. So if you look at r equals 1 minus root 2, this is numerically less than 1, and so the sum to infinity will certainly exist. If you take the other one, it doesn't exist because it's not numerically less than 1. It's actually greater than 1, right? Okay, so you can check this very quickly, right? It's 1 minus something or 1 plus something. So, yeah. Anyway, so the sum to infinity will be a divided by 1 minus the r, which is going to be the one that you choose. So you will have negative 4 root 2 divided by 1 minus 1 plus root 2, the value where it exists. And if you solve this, you will arrive at negative 4 as the sum to infinity. 2 more marks, making a total of 10 marks. I hope you have enjoyed and appreciated this, contestants. Okay, great. Now let's see how you did. Accra Academy. First one, yes, you were able to set up that relationship between the terms, right? And so you get 2 marks for setting up and getting a right value for x. X is equal to 4. You had that right. Then the second one to get the 4 terms. You got the first 3 right. Something went wrong with you in calculating the final one because instead of 24, you have 64. So unfortunately, I can't give you the 4 marks. For the 3 that you had right, I'm giving you 1 out of the 2. And then for the second part, when the series is exponential, you were able to set up the equation, right? You set up the equation. That was all right. I'm giving you 1 point for setting up the equation, but you were not able to proceed to get the solution to that equation. So you have 1 more point there to add. That gives you a total, and that was the end of what you were able to do. So that gives you a total of 4 out of 10. Oh, clap for them. They All right, Tamale. Tamale, first part with the linear series, no trouble for you. You had both right, so 4 points there. Then you also were able to set up the equation, but that was as far as you got. I think you started wondering how to solve that, and you forgot that equation, right? The quadratic formula, you forgot it. And so that was the end of your success. So you had, I'm giving you 1 out of the 2 that was possible there, right? And so that makes it 5 out of 10. All right. St. John's School, no problem with the linear sequence, the linear series, no trouble at all with that part. And then when it came to the second part, yes, you set up the equation. Actually, you were doing it differently. You were looking at ratios, right? To get the ratios, you take one term and then the term before it divide and get a common ratio, right? That's what you were doing. No problem. That's also fine. So you were able to set up the equation, right? You actually used the quadratic formula, which was beautiful. Huh? And so I'm going to give you 2 marks for that. The trouble is, I'm giving you the full 2 marks because I gave 1 point for somebody here for doing less, right? So I have to give you the full 2 marks. But you know that the final answer you provided was only 1. You know, it's 4 plus or minus. You gave me 1 of them as the final answer. So you 2, that's where you ended your success. So if you have the 4 from 1 and then this 2 extra that I'm giving you, that gives you 6 out of 10. That's the end of the problem of the day and the end of round 3. Jupe rewards the school with $20 for developmental projects in the school. In this contest, Accra Academy's promo code is Accra Aka. Hey. Accra Aka. St. John's School is St. John's. St. John's. And Tamale Senior High School is Tamasco. All right, so alumni, over to you. The true or false round is proudly sponsored by Jupe Money Trans. In this round, I'm going to be presenting you with statements. When you receive a statement, please consider the statement carefully and let me know whether it's true or false. If you're right, 2 points. If you're incorrect, you lose a precious point. You may choose not to respond, in which case that statement is available to the 2 remaining schools. A school may ring and attempt an answer. If right, then 2 full points. If not, there's that penalty, 1 point. Occasionally, there may be time. If that's the case, I'll let you know. Otherwise, usually it's the usual 10 seconds. All right. Best wishes to all 3 schools. All right. And I'm beginning with you, Tamale. Oh, I forgot. Tamale wanted to effect a substitution. Oh. I am in a hurry. Okay. So Tamale Senior High School would like to effect a substitution. Mohammed, it's been a pleasure having you. Best wishes to you. And Ahmed is coming in. Ahmed, where are you? Ahmed, you are most welcome. You heard the instructions, right? Or would you like me to give you instructions? No. You are fine. Okay, that's wonderful. I'm going to start with you. Tamale, you take a moment to settle down and I'll come to you with your statement. All right, Ahmed? A short preamble. This is the preamble. In a common emitter transistor amplifier, as a preamble. Do you want to hear it again? Or you are fine? Again. Okay. Amplifier. Okay, so now Tamale. Ahmed.
True.
No, it's a false statement. With the same preamble, Accra Academy, the emitter and the collector are maintained at the same potential. Amplified, short-circuited. Yes, Selassie.
False.
You're right. All right. Tamale, zinc metal and hydrochloric acid react to produce hydrogen gas in an Ahmed.
False.
You're right. Because it is statement. St. John's. When a glowing splint or matchstick is brought near a test tube releasing hydrogen gas, there will be a reignition of the splint or matchstick into a bright yellowish flame.